You're listening to the Public Health Entrepreneurs Podcast with your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley. Today, we're focusing on attracting clients through social media. But when I say social media, I'm really talking about LinkedIn. Welcome to Public Health Entrepreneurs. I'm Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and if you're building a business focused on population health, this podcast is for you, regardless of where you started. The entrepreneurs I work with come from environmental science, technology, pharmacy, research, law, and beyond. I'm here to help you build the business strategies that create healthier communities. That's what we explore here. I'm a big advocate for LinkedIn. I know that we, as public health professionals, especially public health entrepreneurs, are not fully utilizing that space to the fullest potential. There's so much that we can gain from that platform. I've covered this topic in past episodes, but it's even more important now to revisit it again. With so many changes in public health, with our infrastructure and employment, LinkedIn has become even more critical. People are actually looking for expertise, partnerships, and solutions. Your presence there matters more now than ever before. And it's always mattered. So that's really saying a lot. So here are a few tips for establishing thought leadership on LinkedIn and attracting clients to you. Now, that's a key phrase right there. You're not exactly searching for them. You're going to serve more like a magnet, and these strategies will help you attract those clients to you because it's really difficult to know what's in the minds of your ideal client. We know they're there. You're pretty sure they're looking for the solutions that you have. So these are some strategies that help you sift them out and attract them your way. Let's start with understanding thought leadership. So before we dive into the tips that I want to share, I'd like to explain what I mean by thought leadership. You're sharing your comments, your feedback, your thoughts on a topic that's filtered through your lens, your expertise, your view, and your background. You get a chance to share on a topic through your perspective. This is how you establish that thought leadership in a niche area, in a category, and it naturally draws people, your network, the people that are interested in what you have to say. And when you say something that resonates with them, it just attracts them to you. It helps you build a network and a community. And from that, you're often able to convert members of that network or community into clients. Sometimes they're out there curious or thinking about the same topic. When you establish your perspective and they like what you have to say, at minimum, they'll start to follow you, connect with you. Then over time, through conversation and building trust and getting to know you a little bit better, that often leads to a sales conversation where they can become a client. Now, this relationship building process is even more important now. People are being more intentional about who they network with and trust. So show up consistently as a helpful resource, and the client relationships will follow. Here is tip number 1. Make sure your personal and business profile pages are optimized. We're talking about LinkedIn. So this is important. So important that I'm going to do a deeper dive on this first tip. We want to work and operate on a platform the way that LinkedIn wants us to. If we understand what they want us to do on that platform, we can best optimize it, meaning these things are going to work in our favor. You may be wondering, why does this matter? Here's an experience you've probably had. You see a post that has a lot of attention and activity. Maybe it's a strong statement or something controversial. You go straight to the comments to see what people have to say. When someone has something really good to say in those comments, what do? You automatically check that person out. Let me give you an example. You see a post from the American Diabetes Association getting lots of attention. You go to the comments and someone makes a really strong statement that you like. The natural thing to do is hover over their name or click their profile. You want to know, who is this person? Where do they work? What do they do? At the very least, you may decide to connect or follow that person. That's your goal. You want to engage authentically, be yourself, represent what you do through your business or as an entrepreneur. When people find you in the comments and check you out, you're attracting people to you. You're attracting your people, the community that likes what you have to say and is interested in you. All right, you following me? Okay. Here's some key elements of your profile that I want you to keep in mind. Your headline. This is prime real estate. So don't just post your job title. Make it clear what problem you solve or who you serve. For example, public health consultant, helping community organizations build stronger programs. Make it benefit focused and clear. You getting the hang of that? For your about section, this is another important element. This should tell your story and make it clear how people can work with you. Think of it as your opportunity to connect with people who's just discovered you. Tell them what you do and who you serve, why you do this work, what makes your approach unique, and how they can connect with you, and how to work with you. Somewhere in your profile, make it clear how people can work with you or connect with you. This is important. If someone finds you and thinks this is exactly what I need, they need to know the next step. This could be a line that says, if you're interested or have questions, send me a direct message. You can have that added to your about section, or a link to your website or a contact form. Make it easy and inviting. Now, the experience section, this shouldn't flow like a resume. So many people do that. But you can certainly draw from your resume or CV. Think about the person viewing this. Help them understand your background and expertise in a way that's engaging and relevant. On the business profile page, just a word about this, not a whole lot of heavy focus here. If you have a business profile page that's already connected to your profile, make sure that that page clearly explains the problem you solve, how people can connect with you, and what makes your approach valuable. All right, here's tip number 2. Engage with relevant posts and add value in the comments. Engage with posts that are relevant to your work, adding value in the comments. Now, I mentioned this in a previous episode. You may be personally interested in a variety of topics, but I would encourage you to really be strategic about what you engage with, and it should be connected to what you're offering through your business if you're wanting to attract the right clients and community your way. Also, engage with other people in the comments who are also adding valuable responses. In other words, have a conversation in the comments of really good posts, but make sure that it's relevant to helping people understand who you are and aligned with what you do. Let's talk a little bit about strategic engagement. I'm going to stick with the diabetes example. Maybe you help solve a problem related to diabetes in a specific population, and you serve nonprofit organizations in communities with higher rates of diabetes. All right, so here's some examples about where to engage. Engage with posts about diabetes in your target population, or posts about the geographic area you serve, or complementary topics, comorbidities like high blood pressure, obesity, or high cholesterol, or related public health challenges. So here's an example. During the early phase of the pandemic, there was so much conversation about people with diabetes and COVID complications. If you're serving organizations that support people with diabetes, that would be exactly the kind of post you would show up on, anything related to COVID in the community. I hope you're following me. This is like little nuggets here. Here's what I want you to avoid: topics that don't connect to your thought leadership or your niche. Even if they're very important and interesting to you personally, if you can't connect it to your expertise, then steer away from it or away from those kinds of conversations, at least at the beginning when you're building your community. After you establish your community, you might decide to engage in 2 or 3 pillars on a consistent basis where you can have conversations in these areas. Stay on point and on topic for those areas. That's how you establish thought leadership and really start to attract the right attention. So, if you do this consistently, people check you out and go to your optimized profile. They learn about you and get to know you. At minimum, they decide to follow you, and that's a win. That means that more of your content is shown in their newsfeed, so they'll get to know you better. They might connect and send you a message like, I liked what you said about insert the topic, that's a great conversation starter, right? And they might reach out directly. Can we jump on a call? My company is looking for a consultant who can help with exactly this thing. Like that, I cannot tell you how many times this really happens. If you stay focused on your target area, you increase the chances of attracting clients, especially on LinkedIn, especially if you keep your profiles optimized and up to date. That has happened personally for me in my business, and it has happened to multiple clients that I've coached along this journey. So this is something that I highly encourage you to test out for yourself. So let's recap. There were two main strategies for attracting clients through LinkedIn. One, optimize your personal and business profile pages. Make sure you have clear headlines that show what problem you solve. Make sure that the About section connects and shows how to work with you. Make sure that your experience that helps people understand your background, that's present and visible. And make it easy for people to take the next step with you. And the second main strategy is engage strategically with relevant posts. Add value in the comments on posts that are related to your niche. Have conversations with others in those comment threads. Focus on 2 or 3 thought leadership pillars and stick with those. And stay consistent and authentic. LinkedIn is where your potential clients are right now, looking for expertise, partnerships, and solutions. Show up consistently. Be helpful. Make it easy for people to understand what you do and how to work with you. The client relationships will follow. I encourage you to explore our website, publichealthentrepreneurs.com. Make sure that you've subscribed to our Public Health Entrepreneurs podcast newsletter so that you receive updates about our podcast episodes, programs that we offer, and events. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more.